Warren Buffett is known for being the world's most successful investor, with a net worth of around $78 billion. Having bought his first stock at age 11, by now he clearly knows a thing or two about investing. In this video, we're going to take a look at Warren Buffett's top 5 dividend stocks. For anybody who's quite new to investing, I will also quickly go over what a dividend is, what a dividend yield is, and then also how to know what a good and bad dividend yield is. As always, if you do find anything in this video useful, be sure to drop a like. That would be much appreciated, and every like does help. Okay, sit back and relax. Here are the top 5 dividend stocks of the world's most successful investor, Warren Buffett. So here is what we've got coming up. We're first going to quickly look at what is a dividend, what is a dividend yield, and then how do we know what's a good and bad dividend yield. And then we'll finish with Warren Buffett's top 5 dividend stocks by revenue. So what are dividends? So when a business is growing, most of the small businesses, when they make a profit, they'll be reinvesting that profit back into the business. And this is the fastest and best way to make sure the business is growing. However, when a business is very established and turns into a huge corporation, what some of the large businesses do is pay out some of their profits to shareholders, and this is called dividends. And it's kind of like a little reward for the shareholders for holding their stock. And it also generates an income, dividend income, for the shareholders. So a percentage will get paid out to the shareholders and a percentage will get reinvested back into the business. So just note that it's only really the large established companies that will pay out dividends. So what is a dividend yield? So every business will have a share price. So let's say this corporation has a $100 share price, and the dividend that it pays out per share is $5. This dividend yield would be 5%. So quite simply, the math is, it's the dividend divided by the share price gives you the yield. Now you have a percentage where you will know how much income you could generate from this business. So now you know what a dividend is and you know what the dividend yield is. How do you know what's a good dividend yield? So let's take the good old S&P 500. So this is a representation of the American stock market. And what we can do is find out what the average dividend yield is for the S&P 500. So the average yield right now is 1.75. So now we have something to benchmark it from. So if a company has a dividend yield of 3%, then we know that's really high on average. And if a company is paying less than 1%, we now know that this would be relatively low. So now we're armed with all this information, we can know what Warren Buffett's top 5 dividend stocks are. Starting at number 5, we have US Bancorp. Okay, so this is the long-term chart, and I've highlighted the last 10-year performance. Because you don't just want companies that pay out dividends, you also ideally want companies that are growing as well. This way you can make money from the capital appreciation, but you also make money from the dividend income as well. So US Bancorp's 10-year performance is 127%. So this is really good, strong growth, and it pays a dividend yield of 4.31%. So it's a really high yield. And you can see the long-term performance, the 20-year and 30-year, is excellent. So this brings in a dividend income to Berkshire Hathaway of around $220 million. Coming in at number 4, we have American Express. So again, you can see from the 10-year, this company has grown around 109%. So really strong growth. Its 20-year and 30-year is even stronger. So this company has been through a lot of growth. Its dividend yield is 1.89%, which is still pretty good. And this means it's brought in an income of $260 million. Not bad. Coming in at number 3, Kraft Heinz. So we don't have a long-term performance of this chart because this company did go through a merger in 2015. But this is the first and only company of this top 5 that has had a negative growth. So you can see its 5-year performance is actually down 58%. However, with it being a good old established business, the dividend yield on this is a huge 5.33%. So this means it's bringing in a dividend income to Warren Buffett of over $500 million. So although the company has negative growth, it's still bringing in a lot of income. Coming in at number 2, we have good old-fashioned Coca-Cola. Its 10-year performance is still quite good at around 64%. You can see its longer-term performance of 20 years and 30 years has been huge. Its dividend yield is 3.41%, which is really high. So this means it's bringing in an income of around $656 million. So Warren Buffett will love Coca-Cola as it's made him a lot of money. And coming in first place, we have Bank of America. So its 10-year performance is not great. It's been relatively flat at around 2%. You can see on the chart the impact of the global financial crisis, which was in 2008. It took a huge hit. However, its longer-term performance of 20 years and 30 years, it's still been through a lot of growth. Its dividend yield is over 3%, so that's really, really strong. And it's bringing in to Warren Buffett an income of around $666 million every year. So a very strong performance. So there you are, guys. Those were the top 5 dividend stocks of the world's most successful investor, Warren Buffett. It's amazing that these 5 companies alone bring in over $2 billion in revenue for his business. As you can see, when you have a large amount of capital, dividend stocks can be a great strategy. Okay, so I just have one favor to ask. If you did find anything in this video useful, be sure to drop a like. That would be much appreciated, as every like does help. If you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to click the subscribe button below and join us. I do have some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. If you've got any questions or comments, just post them below. Okay, cheers guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.